JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 21st of March 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a view of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which is also updated on a daily basis. So yep, check us out here on jfdbank.com. And click on the research tab right there on the top. So now then, jumping into the charts, guys, the first one I'm going to pick up here is actually Nikkei 225. So we had a, well, today Nikkei is closed, but just wanted to, because it's a public holiday in Japan, so yeah. But what I wanted to say here is that keep your eyes on it, because it's quite at an interesting place here. Just because, like I said, it closed today, but the once it opens up, it will probably follow what the European, the U.S. indices will do. So, if we do see a nice good rally here again, a continuation move higher from the European and the US indices, then we could see Nikkei as well pushing nicely to the upside. And as I said to you previously, I need to see a pop above that 27,000 mark, 27,013 to be a little bit more precise, which is the high of the 1st of March. And if we do get a nice move above that area, then more buyers could join in. So pretty straightforward, to be honest. So let's see how all this is going to play out. As long as it's going to stay, for example, in this little territory right there, well, we will stay a bit on the neutral side, and we'll just continue kind of observing the price action. For the downside, I would need to see a drop somewhere below that 25,775 territory here, and then yes, we could go for some lower levels. Now, Shanghai Composite. So it opened up today nicely here, slightly higher, but currently it's flat because there are still concerns, in geopolitical concerns. So everybody's keeping an eye on that one. China is also dealing with its economy right now, so everything's kind of on a bit of a careful approach here. So in other words, if we see this 3,260 territory continuing to provide somehow the resistance, then yes, we could see another slide here, maybe a bit of a corrective move lower. I need to get rid of this downside line, no longer needed. So yeah, if we do see this one, like I said, holding this barrier, holding for a while, then maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible. However, I'm not saying that this is going to be like a radical move to the downside. No, but of course, one thing for sure is let me just put this one on the chart. Keep your eyes on this hurdle right here, this 3,197 zone. If we drop below this, or even better, maybe drop below this little inside swing high here of the 16th of March, near the 3,177-78 zone, then yes, we could see further declines. We could see a move further south. In terms of the upside, Well, in a way, like I said, this push above the 3,260 zone might do the trick here for a few more buyers, and we could then travel towards that 21-day EMA. So let's keep an eye on this. Let's like I said, let's see how this is going to play out. Hong Kong Hang Seng Index, so yeah, pushed above this 21,327 territory. However, to be honest, looking at this, it didn't really respect it that much, so we can actually get rid of it. Well, I'll mark the current highest point of this week near the 21,823. We're kind of shifting back down here, and we're shifting back below this 21-day EMA. Certainly, there are some concerns here. Again, we're closely monitoring the headlines of the news and surrounding all the, like I said, geopolitical tensions. Then, but for now, looking at this, I would say I'm gonna take a bit of a neutral stand on this one right now, because in order for me, let's say, to go higher, I would rather wait for a push above the 21,823 zone right here. This way, forthcoming higher high would be confirmed, and then we could start aiming maybe for this 22,937 level, or maybe that 23,000 mark, which is somewhere around here, I think. There we go. No, roughly around here, guys. Actually, in between these two levels. There we go. So this is going to be the area that I'm going to be aiming for next, but only if we pop above this 21,823 zone. Now jumping into the German index, DAX. So yeah, on Friday we saw a nice recovery here, a nice push back to the upside from this upside line. The cash index is currently seen correcting a little bit to the downside. So in other words, for now I'll be very careful. Now let me just remove this line for now. I'll move it, shift it a little bit here. Basically what I said to you previously, that for now, yes, I'm aiming for the upside, but there is a problem here with this downside line which could still play out. So let's be very careful for now. Again, if you're looking for something, let's say, a little bit more reassuring for the in the short run, then wait at least for a pop above this 14,567 territory right here, marked by the high of the 25th of February. And yep, a nice good push above this may lead to a test of this downside line, and then of course we would take it from there. But of course, if this upside line gets broken and we see a drop, this is where I'll probably redraw my line here. If we see a drop below this hurdle, below this 14,082 zone right here, then yeah, we could go towards some lower levels. So keep this in mind. At the moment, like I said, we are seeing correcting a little bit, so we're currently trading at around 14,353 level. It's still kind of somewhat above, or actually bang on this this upside line. But yeah, let's see how today's day is going to play out. But if I'm aiming for the upside, then I need to see a pop up of this 14,567 territory at least. The Spanish index, IBEX, I talked about this one on Friday. So also we had a bit of a look at the amount of dojis that we have here. I mean, it's a little bit undecided. The market is a little bit undecided. However, we are slowly, kind of gradually, grinding higher. That said, in order to go for some higher levels, well, I would like to see a push above this 8,510 zone right here, marked by the high of the 1st of March. And then yeah, we could consider maybe a bit of a move to the upside, or a move to the upside towards this downside line taken from the high of the 1st of November of last year, and then of course we'll take it from there. Nasdaq, guys, yeah, had a fantastic rally on Friday. Look at this. I mean, it overcame the upper side of the falling channel, not to mention of course this downside line which we can get rid of. That said, don't get me wrong, I mean, a bit of retracement could still be possible. We're currently seeing maybe a bit of a move lower. A correction lower. So yeah, at the moment the index is trading somewhere around the 14,333 zone. We could still maybe go for a bit of more retracement. So yes, we are below this hurdle, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we're below this hurdle, below this 14,342 zone. That's where the tricky bit comes in. So yeah, we're back below it, and we could still drift lower. Maybe we could test this upper side of the falling channel from above, and if it provides good support and rebound here back up could be possible. So keep that in mind. And if we do, like I said, if we do stay above this upper side of the falling channel, then the bulls could still remain active. However, if we start falling below it, this is where I'm going to take a bit of a neutral approach. However, if we fall below the 21-day EMA, that's where, yes, in a way, I'll aim for the downside again. Another index, the dollar index. So yeah, everything's working out according to the plan. We're seeing a nice rebound here from that 97.80 zone. So that's kind of everything is in line with the analysis that I've talked about, that I meant, I talked about last week. So yeah, everything's kind of okay here. I would say still there is still potential for the upside, to be honest, because we had a strong rebound here from this 97.80 zone from that 21-day EMA. So, and also what I said to you previously, kind of keep an eye on this potential, maybe somewhat of a range here or something like that. Although we do have a downside line here, so we're kind of forming these lower highs here. So yeah, even if we do pop a little bit higher here, be careful with this downside line, which could still provide resistance. However, if that gets broken and we pop above the 99.42 level, that's my level for the upside. I kept on saying that, and yeah, I'll continue monitoring that level. That's my ideal. All this here area, it's not really, it's tricky, it's difficult, and I try to simplify my life here. So yeah, I rather wait for a perfect opportunity. Gold. Okay, so this one drifted on Friday back down. Today we're seeing a bit of a retracement here, but as you can see here, this 1929 level did provide a bit of resistance, and there we go. So this is where I need to adjust my arrow. I would say like this, it's difficult to capture it, but okay, let's put it something like this. So if the commodity continues to trade below that 21-day EMA, shown here as the yellow line, below that 1929 zone, or in other words, you can round it up here towards 30. If it continues to do so, to trade below it, then, well, maybe we're not really done with the downside. And in general, again, guys, keep your eyes on the markets. If the equities and the equity markets, if those somehow jump higher again, then, well, maybe we're kind of, we could see gold here pushing nicely to the downside, and basically this move higher, this move that we saw here in the beginning of March, could be the peak. We might not even reach levels like that already, so yeah, be very careful with this, guys. Don't get me wrong, we still might see maybe some sort of a rebound here at some point. So to be honest, that's why initially actually I'm going to aim for this little hurdle. Although I would prefer to aim for this 1878 level, but initially I'll target the 1895 zone, and I want to see how it's going to perform around here, because I want to see if this is not going to end up being somewhat of a, let's say, a double bottom here, and then it will push higher again, go for some highs, then create maybe something of a double top, and then reverse back down. So again, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here a little bit, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, and I'd rather kind of evaluate and examine all the possible scenarios. Now, long story short, for now, as long as it stays below this 1930 zone and this 21-day EMA, I'll aim for the downside. but I'm just gonna aim for this 1895 level initially, and then slightly below it I have another good level, this 18878. But like I said, let's go slowly on this step by step. If it pops back above this 1950 territory straight away, well, then maybe the downside scenario is slightly off the table, and we could go back to the upside here. WTI oil very quickly on that one continues to rally. Yep, so not everything is stable in the oil market. And we popped back up to this 104 zone. I talked about this, if you remember last week. I said that if we do, and if we move above it and stay above it, then yeah, I'll go for some higher levels. And as I've mentioned before, as I mentioned in the beginning of this month, guys, I am watching this 115 zone, which is around here, because now let me jump into a monthly chart. That's why. That's the highest point of 2011. As I said before to you, when we were, when we were trading above this area in the beginning of this month, I mean, we were hitting these levels. I said that if we do retrace a little bit, but stay above that 115 zone, then yeah, I'll go for for these higher levels. But we then drifted heavily to the downside. We fell back below it, and now when I'm looking at this level, I'm looking at it as a potential area of resistance again. If it holds, if it somehow does continue to provide, let's say, a resistance, then maybe we could see a nice move to the downside, maybe going into next month. However, if we do close the month above this area, above this 115, well, maybe we're not really done here yet with higher levels. ETC USD, guys. Don't look at this one very often, but this one was the only one that was popping heavily to the upside during the weekend. And I mean, if every other one was lagging, this one was just on fire. So it's quite interesting to see, what a bit more research has to be done on this one, to be honest. But unfortunately, there's not much news on it. But yeah, if for now, just purely from the technical perspective, we've managed to pop above all of the EMAs, and we managed to stay above all of the EMAs here on our daily chart. So that, of course, brings a bit more positivity into the whole kind of outlook. We also managed to stay above this 37.50 level marked by the highest point of February. So yeah, as long as we stay above it, then yeah, I'll continue aiming higher, guys. This is pretty straightforward. Certainly some other cryptos might follow suit, but let's be very careful. I mean, maybe this one is just one-off, like sometimes like how Dogecoin kind of gets a boost. So maybe this one got a boost like that as well. It's just that's why other cryptos are not, let's say, moving that much to the upside. So in other words, for now, guys, I would say be very careful. Here, yes, kind of from the purely technical perspective, I'm aiming for the upside. However, if it somehow drops and stays below the 200-day EMA, I'll take a neutral stand and just continue observing the price action. AUDCHF, so one of the pairs that I looked at last week. So we managed to reach that 0.6938, 33 territory marked by the highest point of October of last year. We stalled there. We did have a little overshoot here, but yeah, after that we kind of stalled here, and to be honest, given the steep, sharp up move here, maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible, and also that we, on Friday we formed this somewhat of a doji here, so yeah, maybe a bit of a corrective move lower could be possible. However, I'm not saying that this is going to turn around heavily to the downside. No, I'm just saying that maybe a bit of a retracement like that could be possible. So keep that in mind. If in case it decides not to go this route and decides to pop straight away above that 0.6933 territory, well, that's kind of good news for the bulls, and our next target here could be this one, the 0.70 territory, roughly around there, and then we'll take it from there. USD CAD, very quickly on this one, still watching this hurdle. I talked about this, guys, last week, this 1.2587. I need to see a nice good drop below this. Currently it's providing very strong support, so yeah, if we do eventually get a nice move below this, we get the the body of the daily candle staying below this area, then yes, slowly we will aim for lower levels, where our next target is the lowest point of January, or in other words, the current lowest point of this year, near the 1.2450, roughly around the 1.2450 zone. GBP and ZD also watching this level. Today we had a bit of a drop here, so 1.9040 zone, that's what I'm keeping an eye on. We did get a kind of little, violation of this area, but quickly pushed back up. In a way, if you're looking for some downside, wait, at least wait for a better move below this hurdle, and then yeah, we could go for that lowest point of November of last year. Yeah, if so basically something like this here, just to be, like I said, a little bit more on the safe side. On the upside, again, also pretty straightforward. A push above this barrier, the 1.9367, could do the trick for a few more buyers. Oh, by the way, this needs to go. Has been sitting here for quite a while. Also, let's see if this is gonna work out or not. I mean, this is, yeah, okay. So something like this we could still be keeping an eye on, but again, let's see how all this is going to play out. Now, GBP USD, guys. GBP USD, also very strong, interesting level that I'm monitoring. This here is this 1.3195, yeah, if we do pop and kind of stay above this, then I'll aim for the upside. But it's kind of pretty straightforward, to be honest, and yeah. For now, that's the kind of the game plan. For the downside, I would need to see something like a drop here below this 1.3089 level, because it's yeah, it marks the inside swing high of the 15th of March and at the same time the low of the 17th of March. Good potential target, a break of which could open the door towards lower levels. Euro JPY. So okay, this is yeah, it had a fantastic rally last week. I mean, look at this. I mean, in general, since kind of since reversing in the on the 7th of March here, look at this, fantastic. Almost managed to recover all the losses made in the month of February here. So yeah, pretty straightforward, to be honest, as well. So we're currently seeing this one, trying to make its way higher again. I need to see a pop above this 131.90 level here in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. So this way a pair would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could aim for that 133.15 level here, marked by the highest point of February. That said, don't get me wrong, a bit of a retracement here could be possible, could be healthy, just because we had quite a decent rally here. So let's put it this way: if this was the high, so the 23.6% retracement could come in somewhere around here. However, if to try to maybe speculate here a little bit, so what could potentially happen? Let's say we could see maybe even a pop above this 131.90 level today, but let's say if it gives us at the end of the day just a false breakout, and just at the end of the day it will drift back down, then yeah, maybe this this idea could work out. So where I would say the 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci would coincide with the 132.29 level marked by the high of the 25th of February. So I have this level right here. Again, this is very subjective, I would say, but again, I want to see how this is going to play out. Like I said, I'm keeping an eye on this 131.90 level, a 91 zone. If we do pop above it and stay above it, yes, we could go for some higher levels, but be very careful. By the end of the day, we might, drift back down below it, and if the body of the daily candle stays below this hurdle, then maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible. And finally, EURUSD. So yeah, still monitoring this one, still watching this one, and to be honest, yeah, it's not my ideal scenario here. I mean, I'm just observing the price action. So yeah, I need to see. We're above the one psychological 110 zone. That's okay. That's fine. But can we go? Can we break this downside line and go above this 1.1121 zone? That's what I need to see. That's what I need to see here. And a nice good pop above this, yep, may open the door towards some higher levels. Initially, I would be aiming for the 100-day EMA here, shown as the green line, and then so on and so on. For the downside, pretty straightforward. The break of this subside line is needed. And in terms of a level, well, certainly on a break of the subside line, yeah, we would already start looking at some downside, but maybe just for extra reassurance, I would say maybe a drop below this 1.0891 level might be helpful, just to be, like be a little bit more careful with this. But yeah, but as long as it remains above this, oh sorry, as long as it remains inside, in between these two lines, I'm just observing the price action, guys. So so yeah, that's it for this session, guys. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes, your comments. I really do, so thank you for that. If you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, that's 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful, wonderful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.